So we're going live.
Da,
Hey.
da, 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 da. We've got the power!
Yeah! Alright, going on my live on my stream. So hi, what's up everyone? I am Michael from Boxmining and I have Suppoman here. He is
Also Michael.
also
Also Michael.
Michael. Two Michaels in the same place?
This
Huh.
is head blowing. This is head blowing stuff, mate. This is minds blown. It's box mining and the Suppoman. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and hopefully your stream is working. Suppo, is your stream good?
Uh, God, I don't know. Is my stream good?
Yeah, let's hope it
That is the
is.
question. That's always the question.
Hey everyone, live.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We've
Yes!
got 669 people watching.
Holy shit, man.
Let's see how this looks. Let's see how. Oh, it looks amazing. It
Yeah?
looks amazing.
Yeah?
67 likes already. Smash up the likes. Smash up the likes, peeps.
Awesome. I mean,
Let's
this is
get
the
as many
first time
likes
we're
as
doing a
we
stream.
can.
We've been talking about this for ages. Superman has an amazing YouTube channel, and you got a lot of good work bringing people into crypto, getting them to understand what the hell is going on in this crazy, crazy space. So, Superman, check out his stuff. We're streaming this both on our channels, Boxmining and Superman. This is going to be fun. This is hilarious.
This is something that's needed to happen for a while, guys. So if you have been watching my stuff, which you have been hopefully for the last 7 months, but if you're new, that's good too. Well, essentially, I have been wanting to do a collab for a while. As you guys know, I basically just do it on my own with the old coin market cap behind me, and then I go into my Savage Crypto, and always on my own. But I wanted to partner up with someone awesome in this space and also called Michael. So box mining was the preferred choice.
Awesome, man. And I think this is the first time you're doing a collab. I'm so excited. And, you know, it just is so coincidental, everything. So, I mean, we were contacted each other, I think, and we were like talking, and we're like, shit, we definitely need to do something together. And I'm so glad you have the time to do it, Superman. It's fantastic to see you here. And, you know, just talking about different coins as well. Like, this is something we definitely need to talk about something more later. So, the story here is that we've been talking about this for some time, and then we realized that we're doing the research on the same coin. Like, what are the odds of that? The same name, guys with the same name, and we're like, oh, shoot, we should plan something like this, and we'll talk about the same coin. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be cool, Superman? So, like, that's how everything got started, guys. I hope you guys are excited for this episode. So, we're going to take questions later to both the chats around. We're on both the channels. We will try to answer as many questions as possible, but we were going to talk about something special. So, how's it going on your end, Superman?
It's going really well, mate. It's going really well. We've got tons of people watching. So this is obviously something that people are probably incredibly surprised at. Leave me a note in the comment. Let me know what you think. As you know, guys, I've been doing a series called Suppo's Picks. I've brought you two awesome picks so far, EOS and Cardano. Now, me and Box Mining yesterday. It was Sunday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was morning for me, early morning for me, and it was relatively late for you, wasn't it? Box Mining. And
Yeah, it was like dinner time.
we just got on a Skype call, and we were like both wanting to talk about the same coin, and that is essentially what this is about. Now, I've been very cryptic. Box Mining, you've been cryptic. We both did tweets yesterday about half an hour of each other, saying we were going to be covering a pretty strong coin.
So yeah, and I think it's interesting how everything works here. I mean, I guess the world works in mysterious ways, and for sure, I definitely respect how you uncovered a lot of cool coins. I mean, this is the thing about crypto land, right? We're talking about something that's gonna be interesting and something that's gonna be cool, but at the same time, you want some really solid fundamentals. So I think this is something like this kind of analysis is going to be interesting. So I'm very excited to talk about this with you, and I'm so surprised that we just managed to get this together.
I know, mate. I know.
All right.
And two faces with a green screen. Most of your collabs is normally you and somebody else's webcams next to each other with the chat underneath. But this time, making a difference with our actual faces and coin market cap in the background. I mean, that is
crazy.
innovation.
By the way, it's crazy. We haven't even talked about how crazy Bitcoin is. Like $19,000.
Yeah, there was some fear. There was some FUD. I don't know if you saw it, but last night there was some real FUD being spread on Telegram. I'm in quite a few Telegram groups where they do like technical analysis, and they're like, oh, Bitcoin futures, everybody's getting scared off. There was a bit of a sell-off. It went to about 17, late 17s, early 18s, and now we're back. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Well, it's like that for cryptocurrencies, and I think the thing about cryptocurrencies is it's so volatile and people don't know how to evaluate this. I gave a guest talk at Hope Business School on Saturday in Shanghai, and people were all like, "Oh, this is the biggest bubble since tulips." And you were talking about a bubble yesterday as well in your episode as well. And it's a bubble, but at the same time, it's like you feel it's so undervalued and so overvalued at the same time. Yeah. Right. And
it's because of the rate it's gone up. I mean, it's just like literally a few weeks ago, it was like I went live as it went over 300 billion market cap, and I thought it can't. I think this is insane growth, and literally like a couple of weeks later is at 600 billion. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But like you say, whilst you think it's like rapid acceleration, maybe it's like gone up too quick, I don't think this is comparable to the dot-com boom. I think this is much bigger. We're talking about potential, a complete shift in currency, peeps. So exactly. I reckon this bubble's got a long way to go if it's a bubble, which I don't think it is a bubble. I think it's just the beginnings of a new line of currency, which people in the media won't admit to.
And I think the thing that's quite surprising is that this year is not just about currencies, but about blockchain technology overall as well. Yeah. I mean, you got some really interesting properties that we all take for granted. We've been in this space for such a long time, and we take this for granted. The fact that you can't go and change the value of how much Bitcoin you've sent, this aspect of immutability, and the fact, and the huge word I'm dropping is trustless as well. These are huge words that are being thrown at people. People don't understand it. This is what was happening when I was giving the talk. People don't understand what is trustless. We've been trusting institutions for such a long time, but we haven't questioned them. And now is a time that people are beginning to realize we should question things. So I think we should stop beating around the bush. Let's talk about the coin that we want to talk about today. So this will be the main topic of discussion. I'm also going to try to adjust the volume a little bit. So if you guys can tell me who is a little bit loud, I'll try to adjust the volume as well. So Superman, what are we talking about?
Be the loud one.
Awesome. So what are we talking about today, Superman?
Shall we tell them?
Yeah, I think we should.
Tell them?
We should.
Right,
tell them.
let's do it. Let's do it, peeps. Today we are talking about VeChain.
VeChain to this. Man,
VeChain.
I think the internet's been blowing up over VeChain, and I'm super excited for this because a lot of people are talking about it, and a lot of people, especially after I came to Walton, and they're like, check out VeChain, check out VeChain, check out VeChain. It's been going on for like a month, and suddenly, I was talking to you about it, and now we're like, okay, we gotta do this. And the moment I did this morning, my mind was blown. I was like, holy shit. Like, it clicked for me.
Yeah. Well, same for me, because there was somebody in my mastermind group who said it was about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago, when VeChain was about 26 cents, maybe a bit cheaper. And he wrote a terrific write-up. And I looked at it and I thought, look at those partners, which obviously we're going to speak about in a minute. Mm-hmm. But I was just thinking, flipping hell, this is undervalued. But I've waited until now, and I think this is actually the perfect time, really, isn't it? This is the perfect day, actually, to be talking.
It's a perfect time. It's a perfect time. I mean, yes, it is one of the coins that is going up like crazy. But, I think I'll talk a little bit about the fundamentals of what this is, what they're trying to solve. Because when I first started looking at VeChain, I was like, what are they trying to solve? Is it just limited to counterfeiting, anti-counterfeit measures? But the more you look into it, you're like, holy shit, they're trying to do like way more than this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you say, before it was just about kind of people were looking at whatever was rising and getting in on it. Now that kind of the cryptocurrency market has matured and people are actually looking for coins that have real long-term potential, puts more of the onus on the company delivering a product that can basically fulfill the long-term potential, deliver an amazing value proposition, and essentially give people value constantly. And VeChain, we're obviously going to go through it now, but VeChain has just got so many positives. It's the first crypto. If you watch my Savage Crypto series, then you will know that normally at a push, I will come up with 2 pages of positives, 1 page of negatives, and then give my final rating. But for VeChain, for the first time ever, Boxmining, have I taken 3 slides to talk about the positives, half a slide to talk about the negatives.
Shit, we need to see those slides, man. We need to do that soon. I don't have the slides up, so forgive me because I'm the one controlling the stream, so I don't have Suppoman slides. I don't have his notes with me.
Boxmining's in control.
Yeah, I control everything, so now I can control Suppoman's stream.
That's because he's got more subscribers than me, so.
Well, you got more viewers than me, right? You got more viewers watching live, so this is exciting. So what are they trying to solve? And this is something that really brought me into crypto because last year was about Bitcoin as a currency, and we saw more and more currencies pop up, and then we saw Ethereum pop up. It's doing smart contracts, but the next level is really blockchain technology, because when it comes to blockchain technology, there's some very, very important factors that people don't really realize what it is. And one of those things is, like what I said, is the immutability aspect of it. Bitcoin has not been hacked all this time. Like all these 7 years, it's never really been. You can't just go back and say, yeah, someone sent me 1 Bitcoin. Let's change that to 50 because that would be cooler, right? You know, these are values that cannot be changed. It's protected by cryptography. It cannot be changed. And the time at which it was sent as well, when you receive that Bitcoin, that's locked in a block. And that time, we can know for certain that this transaction happened at a certain time. So that goes to blockchain technology. These properties are extremely important to businesses. And what VeChain is trying to do is just trying to make an enterprise solution. And I think this is why it's kind of like a hidden gem to me. It's like a lot of people, they talk about it, but they don't know the true power of it. See, enterprise solutions are very weird because people don't usually understand a lot about what's happening in businesses. And it's starting to click for me today. So I have to say, you know, forgive me for taking so long to see what's happening here. You know, I suddenly realized what you can apply this for. It started off with Walton, and I think these things can definitely work together or do something. They're definitely pushing the frontiers of this. Because when it started off with Walton, we're talking about anti-counterfeiting and tracking. One thing that was very important to me was that there's this issue sometimes when a government checks up on something and you got to prove that you received an item or you sent off an item, but all you have in terms of proof sometimes is just a piece of paper, and people forge that all the time, right? People forge that, and the thing with the blockchain is it's immutable. It cannot be changed. And that's what VeChain is trying to solve. It's trying to solve this issue of counterfeit goods. It's trying to solve things with food. It's trying to solve things with cars, like oil and everything. And it's an enterprise solution about tracking items. And I think a lot of people don't see how important this is. They're like, oh, this is something new. But this is a problem that's been happening for a long time. How do these industries prove something? See, and that's what VeChain is trying to do. It's trying to allow people, industries, to track an item, to prove that they sent an item, prove that items have been to certain locations, and they're trying to do a full package solution. So it's a lot on the table for just trying to understand what's happening. And I think this is the challenge with understanding VeChain. So what was your take when you first saw it?
I'll tell you what I like, because if you watch me or taken my courses, I like grouping cryptocurrencies together. I like, you know, you've got the privacy coins, you've got Dash, Monero, PivX, and all that lot. You've got the builder coins, Ethereum, Neo, Cardano, and all that lot. And what I like about VeChain is that it's kind of coming into this bracket of like supply chain management tools for business using this RFID. So we've got Wabi, we've got Walton, we've got Modem, we've got IOTA, we've got all of these like supply chain tools. So now what we've got is like a supply chain bracket forming, which is who is going to be like the one that businesses use. And it's been quite good because obviously I've covered Walton, I've covered Wabi, but Yeah, my take on this is that actually, and this is why it's like one of my big picks for next year. My take on it is that the reason why this is better is because VeChain, these guys have been established for longer. They've been established since 2014. They have been, they're looking to solve. Not, I mean, if you look at Wabi, okay, for instance, Wabi, they use kind of child products, baby food. They talk about anti-counterfeiting, but really they've got like one retailer, which is JD. If we're looking at VeChain, we're looking at luxury goods like your Louis Vuitton bags and handbags and heels. Well, okay, I don't wear heels. That's for women.
Hey! I can't verify that. That's maybe.
And then your Gucci stuff, your Gucci. I do like my Gucci. I like my Ralph Lauren. I like my designer stuff. So they're looking to basically solve, they're basically looking to solve the whole counterfeit problem in luxury goods. Where, let's face it, whenever I go to Spain, I will buy myself a fake bag because it's cheaper. Right, not a bag, maybe some sunglasses and a fake Rolex, maybe. But this is an actual problem when it comes to people spending good money on fake goods or spending money on goods that can harm them. So what I like about VeChain is they're concentrating on luxury goods. They've also got wine, they've got agriculture, they've got cars, they've got freight, they've got logistics and transport. So they've got already partnerships established in all of these different areas, whereas the rest of the competition do not. And so it's really good because this project, I mean, you said it yourself with the whole Walton project, projects move a lot slower than the price. But funnily enough, as far as I'm concerned for VeChain, the price hasn't moved for VeChain. It was under $1 yesterday.
Yeah, and it's been experiencing a bit of a push.
How far they've come along.
Yeah. And I think it's important to stress this, which is counterfeit is a big problem for us as consumers. But for businesses, it's...
Michael, you've got to talk louder because I am loud compared to you.
All right. We got this. We got this.
You've got like a loud mouth.
All right. That is true. But I think it's important to remember that for businesses, counterfeiting is a huge problem as well. And I think it's not immediately obvious, but one thing that China's trying to do this year is, especially with JD, is that they're trying to allow refunds. All right. And the biggest scam, what people can do and what corporates are afraid of, is that if someone refunds an item and they give you a fake item, like, just think about that. Like, if you buy an LV bag online or something, and this is why they don't sell it online. You buy it online, you receive it, and you send a fake one back and you refund it. You get the full refund and a real bag, and they have a fake bag.
Yeah.
Like, that's really fucked up. And the problem is like, sometimes the fakes are so real. I come from China. The fakes are so real, they can't tell the difference. There was this issue in Chanel in Hong Kong that 5 Chanel bags were refunded. And then they were fake. And the stores didn't catch that. Because, like, the leather they used, the quality of the leather, and everything, even the cards, they just swapped everything inside. It was fake, but then it would look so real that the stores didn't catch it. And think about the problem that comes. Because when that store takes it back and they sell it out again, that's Chanel selling fake Chanel bags.
I know, mate. I tell you what, though. Every time I see a Louis Vuitton bag, I think it's fake. Even if it's real.
Yeah, that's right.
I see somebody with like a Louis Vuitton bag or a suitcase, I think that's a fake. Because they're so common.
Exactly. And
by the way, hi, Savage Cat says hi, Pete.
Hey, Savage Cat! Holy shit. Nice. And so I think that's the issue. So corporate really needs that. And then it's this problem that they're trying to deal with. And another issue is, this is a funny thing. I'm going to go off topic, but in Canada, when iPads were really hot, someone bought iPads from their local Best Buy, and then they returned it. But instead of like putting an iPad back, they put bricks. They literally put a piece of clay.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Not obviously, it's not great.
But it's fucking funny, right? It wasn't very funny from the people who bought it back from Best Buy. So like the issue was that Best Buy took it back, and then they sold it off again because it was like they didn't really check it thoroughly. They sold it back again, and the customers got a clay tablet. Like, what the fuck? And then like Like they reported this and people thought they were lying, but then they found like five other cases of the exact same thing, and they're like, oh shit. Like this is a big problem, and especially in China where counterfeits, you definitely don't want any. So what VeChain is trying to do is they're trying to tag every item with a unique ID, and they're gonna try to put that inside the item. So like what I guess I have the image back here. You know, they want to put it inside the bag, and that's the thing with authenticity, right? Once you put that inside, it's not like a little card that you can remove. It's sewn inside the letter. What they're trying to do is putting that little chip that we saw. You know, I went to Walton and I've seen how small those RFID tag chips can be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're making them smaller and smaller. And what VeChain is trying to do is very similar. It's trying to put that into luxury goods, and then when you scan an item, then you can say, okay, I can verify this for certain. And there's like virtually no way of doing it because it's inside the letter. It's in the fucking thing, right? So
Yeah.
that's how they can really push that to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. So, with all this in mind, right, this has got to go down as one of the most slept on cryptocurrencies. I mean, no one's really covered it properly, have they? So I think it's about time that VeChain got its time in the sun. And I think that what I love the most about VeChain, I mean, just to kind of compound what you said about being an e-commerce solution, is the partnerships.
yes.
The partnerships are mind-blowing. It's not just like your average, small business around the corner. We've got PwC partnered with them, and they are a global top 4 accountancy firm and auditing company. You got Kuhn and Nagel, obviously with them being in the logistics and with their cold chain logistics. Did you talk about the cold chain logistics?
Not yet, man. We'll work slowly up to it. I think it's like that was like kind of like an onion. When I first started looking at this, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, that's the first thing. But then you're talking about partnerships. Partnerships are the whole next level. And then we have like even more. Like I think the implications of this. Because like we started off and we're like, okay, you first look at it like PwC, what is that, right? Like why should I care about PwC?
Yeah.
Like they're not a brand I know. And then it hit me, right? It hit me that this partnership wasn't about one partnership. It was about one partnership to rule them all.
Yeah.
That was the difference because PwC, they do a lot of assurance, right? They're a company that tries to make sure things are legit.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of clients who are interested in authenticity.
Yeah.
So by partnering up with someone that does this, you can let them do the selling for you. I think that was a stroke of genius. I'm like,
absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need any other partners. Like if you want to do some stuff, and they do a lot of auditing and accounting and stuff as well. When they see the power of blockchain, that's when things were gonna hit the fan. I think this is what's gonna be special about it. It's like people don't realize this yet. You're talking about blockchain. You're talking about this immutability aspect. People have to Google what the fuck immutability is.
Yeah.
But
what is it? I ain't joking.
Exactly, like these are like big words and people don't know what it is. And I was watching the video describing VeChain from Sunny Liu, and he was saying for the past 2 years he's been preaching about this, right? He's very big on his coin. He's been preaching about this, and then he was having a very hard time convincing businesses that this is good.
Yeah.
See, this year, what we're seeing this year, especially with the price of Bitcoin, is people are jumping on to Bitcoin. But suddenly, once they're in Bitcoin, they realize the power of it. They realize, shit, you can't just create Bitcoin out of thin air, right? Bitcoin has this element that you can track it. You can track it, and you can't just create it out of thin air. You can mine it, and it's followed by this sort of consensus rules. And you can't alter anything related to Bitcoin transactions. And suddenly, that's where we see the altcoin spike, right? All of a sudden, like this few weeks, all the altcoins are going up. Bitcoin brought them into crypto. And then people are like, oh shit, this can be extended. And then the next thing to do, of course, is to apply blockchain technology, because that going to businesses, the idea that you can log something onto the blockchain. And we saw this with Ambrosis as well. I was like following Ambrosis project, they're trying to do food. And VeChain is doing a similar thing as well. But what's going to happen this year is that all these projects are going to start pushing and pushing up, and people it's going to click for them one day, right? All of a sudden, when it clicks for them, they'll be like, oh shit, this can do so much more. This is like the reinvention of the internet. Because when it comes down to a lot of things, for example, like say delivering an item and even corporates receiving items and even tracking that, they realize that there's so many problems that they have today and they don't know how to fix it. And this is the solution. Because you can log things on the blockchain, you can create certificates, you can create, you can put it and you can send that transaction ID over, and people can trace it. And I think that's the power and why PwC is so keen on this. And this isn't like a light partnership. I've been saying things like partnerships with Microsoft, like I've seen a few of those, and it's just like a client relationship, right? You know, Microsoft wants to sell the cloud services. Yeah, woohoo, you're going to use them in the future. Yeah, let's jump on and let's create some competitions, grow that, and we're going to have more business. But this is a proper partnership of like strategic development, because one thing that PwC realizes is that in the future, when they want to do auditing and when they do want to check things out, they realize that having things on a blockchain and potentially asking for blockchain proof that something is done, that is going to be the future. They realize this. That's why they're crypto friendly. I've been talking about PwC for a while. They've been like accepting Bitcoin recently, and they realized that, oh shit, this is going to be the future. This is when, you know, when we do audits in the future, it's going to be like it's going to be blockchain. We're going to have experts who look at how things are traced. That is when we can see things very clearly now, and you can't forge it. None of these things, blockchain transactions, can be forged, and this is going to be quite special for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What a flipping coin. Oh, and by the way, I only found this out this morning from Boxmining, which is that the CEO is actually ex-Louis Vuitton. So I'm sorry about my comments about Louis Vuitton bags.
Well, I'm not a big fan of LV. But, you know, like they face like serious issues, and I guess, you know, it's going to be special. So I think that's going to be quite interesting over there. So let's take a look at what's happening right now. We have lots of happening things talking about in chat. How's your chat like, Suppoman?
Nuts. As usual. And it's people saying, Superman, talk about this coin. Superman, talk about this coin. Talk about VeChain, peeps. Talk about VeChain. That's good. Lots of people saying VeChain breakout. Let's have a look. How is VeChain?
Let's take a look. VeChain. I am so bad at using the computer, man. I am so bad. All right, so it's popping up a little bit. It's popping a little bit. It's going to hit a little bit. I think this is one of those projects that's gonna take a while for people to click on it. I think it's definitely gonna be one of those things that it's gonna be like
128. Now, go peeps, go peeps. This is it. Get in it. Get in it early. That's not financial advice, by the way.
It is true. It is true. And I think for me, I usually do a lot of research, and I don't expect things to go up very quickly. But, you know, I think VeChain is like it's going to be quite crazy.
I think it's going to go mad. I think it's going to go mad simply because there's some stuff coming up, isn't there? There's some big announcements coming up very soon.
Yeah, I think so too. And they've been doing something that's quite a little bit cheeky. They've been doing quite a lot of announcements. And then, 138 right now, says
What?
safety corn. Let me just check that. I think maybe coin market cap's a little bit slow here.
Oh, is that? Bloody hell. 138? That'd be insane.
It's 128 on mine.
Yeah, it's 128 on mine.
Yeah.
It's 128 on mine. Yeah, they can't keep up. They can't keep up with the buy orders. Can't keep up with the buy orders.
Someone just posted they have a partnership, announced a new partnership. They just announced something. Let's look at the VeChain Twitter, they said. I'm gonna go on Twitter.
Okay, mate. This should be exciting.
Oh, let's check VeChain. Hey, I see myself on Twitter.
People are saying in my chat 150.
What?
Bloody hell. I know.
What are we getting? Are we getting lied on or what's happening here?
I think it's Binance. Binance are moving quicker than bloody.
Oh, right. Okay, VeChain just announced 19 minutes ago VeChain's national level partnership. Let's take a look on that. Supo, do you have the link? I'll send you a link to you, VeChain official.
Don't worry, I'm watching on my own phone. I'm watching just like you are, peeps. National level partnership.
All right. Let's see. How does that work? Let's see. CDN, VeChain. Let's check out what they're doing. All right. This is so China's National Strategic Development.
These are live announcements, peeps. By the way, live announcements. This stuff's coming out now.
Yeah, I mean, the lucky thing for us, I guess, is that they announced on Friday, and I think a lot of people are anticipating that announcements are coming up, and then I think this is the first part of it. I'm trying to get a hold of what's going on right now. Let's just take this look at this. Wow, national level partnerships. Holy shit, national level.
So a China finally partnering with a China like showing their approval of a cryptocurrency here.
Okay. So it's in Gui'an. Okay, next to Guiyang. Okay, and they're giving the special administrative level grant in New Pudong. That's where I was yesterday, and then.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Holy shit, this looks pretty legit. Like I do have to state that national level is something that's next here. We've seen partnerships on kind of a smaller level with provincial level.
Yeah.
Right? But what I was saying with VeChain was that it could have the potential to do national level. And I just can't compute this right now. It's a lot of information coming in for me. So
does it not show though? Does it not show that there is a partnership between, does it not kind of demonstrate the credibility of this partnership between VeChain and the Chinese government? Because I think that's one of the things that people are looking for with Chinese-based cryptocurrencies is that the China government approves. So with grants, it kind of shows some credibility that there is a partnership there and that there is some level of respect there as well.
Like you gotta realize that when I was doing research on this, and I looked at who was behind VeChain, right? And VeChain had some very interesting people. One of them was Bo Shen. Bo Shen is Fambushi Capital, and they've been working with the government. Like Fambushi Capital is under Wanshan Group, and Wanshan has been doing blockchain for a very long time. Like they're like the sleeping giants in China. No one knows no one in the Western world knows who they are, but they are the ones that hold meetings with the government every single month. Like that's the rumor anyways. Like they are talking to the government because the government, if you think about it, they realize that blockchain technology is good, but Bitcoin speculation is bad, right?
Yeah.
But this solution isn't just about a coin. It's not a coin. It's a product solution. It's gonna help people. So I'm just trying to find out where it was. Like Bo Shen was here, but I couldn't find him on this page right now. I'm not sure which one I saw, but.
By the way, Boxmining, I just need to clarify something to the viewers. Okay, number one, this is not a sponsored video. Am I right, Boxmining? Am I right?
Yeah.
We haven't been paid to do this, peeps. I never get paid.
We should though. We should. I think this is something.
If the CEO wants to give me a masternode, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Fuck.
But no, we're not getting paid.
Let's put our addresses down below, but
And secondly, Boxmining, it appears that Binance are doing an upgrade whilst we are live. What are the chances of that? They're literally
what are they doing? Oh, so Binance is down right now?
Yeah. We killed it.
We killed Binance. Second time.
We put them out of order. This is what happens when you got the Suppoman effect multiplied with the Boxmining effect. Marketing chaos.
And this national level partnership. This is something I've been waiting for a long time. I think I definitely want to verify this for myself. This is something that if this is true, this is gonna be like the next biggest announcement since the ban. This is crypto coming back into China, blockchain coming back into China. If it's national level, because I've been always been stressing the difference between provincial governments and the national government, and I do know that what they were brewing up, especially with people at Wanshan and at Fembushi and people that projects they've been helping, is that they've been working to partner with the Chinese government on a lot of things. And
Yeah.
for them, I think why the government's interested is because this solves a lot of the problems with taxes and with a lot of issues that they're having with even counterfeits and a lot of taxes. I guess that's probably the biggest one for government, because if and of course they're trying to push Internet of Things really hard this year. So in terms of technology and in terms of taxes, what the government's looking for is a way to track items and make sure these companies are doing things legitly. So if they at a national level can use something like this, and then you can track items there, it's happy for the government, right? Because they can make sure that things are taxed.
Yeah.
So like this is why they're so interested in throwing money into this. Like they've been talking in China, there's something called a fa piao. When you issue an invoice and you buy that from the government, you pay tax for that. And this is a way to make sure that businesses report their taxes legitly. And this year, if they have something like the blockchain, they can not even have that. They don't even need to issue these things out. They can just track things on a blockchain now. That is gonna be what is quite special, I think. So
this is why I'm glad Boxmining is here, because he's got this massive knowledge of the Chinese market. He can basically interpret things for us better than I ever could. So thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Mother Michael, man. This is like, and I think it's important as well that why I think this is a cool, interesting thing is because in terms of communication, I love the way you communicate and break things down. I think that's really important as well. Sometimes I do go off on a tangent. That is one thing. And Suppoman is just like, you got a cat, man. Can we see Suppo cat?
Yes. Good timing, Boxmining. Here she is.
Nice.
Hey, hi, Mil. Hey, hi, Mil.
Nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh,
she's beautiful. She's really beautiful.
She's so gorgeous. She's the cat of cryptocurrency. She is the famous crypto cat. Now, Boxmining. There is a rumor of a major listing for VeChain, because at the moment they're on Binance, HitBTC, and a few like minor ones like Qcoin, Cos, Gate.io, Liqui. And there's Huobi as well. That's been announced, hasn't it? But there's a more major one. There's a more major one coming out.
So
what do you think? What listing? What exchange do you think they're going to get on?
Oh, that's a lot of speculation.
That's a toughie.
That's a toughie. I mean, this year, so I think it's important to say Huobi listed them. Huobi is one of the biggest exchanges in China. The thing, of course, is that with Huobi, they got hit a little bit hard. So this year, they went to be a little bit sneaky. They're Huobi.pro. Right. So they changed themselves from a digital fiat to a fiat to crypto to a crypto exchange. So this is something they're trying to follow along the same lines of Binance. But what they can do is they can pull their old guys, the guys that they used them before and trusted them. They're trying to pull them on. So I think what was happening was that they got listed today on Huobi, and they're trying to push really hard to list on other exchanges. Now, obviously, right now, a lot of exchanges are under kind of scrutiny, so I can't speculate on what it is. But
Bittrex peeps. Nah, it's not really. Well, at least we don't know that yet. Were you saying something about, Michael, that that Bittrex aren't listing new cryptos at the moment?
I was searching something for Bittrex on Bittrex right now. Sorry, Bittrex. Sorry, just a moment. I was searching something on Bittrex News. Let me check. I was searching some news today on this. Let's check this out. So under fire exchange, Bittrex is hiring 2 ex-government security guys. They're definitely getting a lot more people on board to help out, because of course, crypto is so hot this year that of course all these exchanges are getting more and more scrutiny because they're processing more and more money. So I think it's one of the things, like, I don't really speculate that much on exchange listings. I think it's great, but I think in this, at the end of the day, what's really important is that people know what's happening. I mean, sure, we want to make money very quickly, like, boom, it goes up, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think for me, especially, it's the realization that this is going to be much greater than that. It's going to be changing
Yeah.
how a lot of things work. Of course, with VeChain, it's not immediately obvious. I think that's the issue with VeChain. It's not immediately obvious because a lot of things that they want to do is in the background. And what I'm getting from this government partnership thing is that they are basically saying they got a lot of partnering up with the free trade zone. So they'll be building the first asset on the blockchain. So that's the case of wine liquor. And then,
Yeah.
and then they will help the government build a system to track and store certifications. So
Yeah.
this is the thing I was talking about. Like, the government actually needs this. This is one thing that they really specified this year, that the government really needs this. And of course, they want to help develop a new area in Guiyang, that is Gui'an, which is going to be the first smart town. Like, this really needs a lot of processing. Like, I've been reading a lot of news on this, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So exchange listings, I'm excited, but you know what?
Come on, Bittrex. Come on, BitThumb. Those are my requests. I have got to ask you something, Boxmining.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of Michelle Williams?
Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As in on your live streams?
No.
Yeah, she's on your live stream. She's on my live stream normally. She's just asked us. She's just said, Boxmining, Suppoman, I was saving up to invest in WanChain, but do you think I should invest in VeChain instead? What would you say to that?
Well, I don't know anything about OneChain. I don't give financial advice, but VeChain broke my mind. And just up here, I checked up Liquid.io. Because Binance, we broke Binance.
We did. We crashed the system.
We broke Binance, and if you look at Liquid.io, I'm gonna send you this link right now, Strupo. I'm not. Do you see the stream? There's like a straight arrow up.
Yeah, I'm watching. Don't worry.
What the fuck is happening, man? Shit, people are really eating up this national level thing. It's really huge news. Like, I mean, the implications of this is just gigantic. It's up 50% right now. It's at 8,097 satoshis on Liquid, and Binance has just crashed because
Fucking hell. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Get in. You know, at the end of the day, the reason why I'm happy with this, because people are saying, Superman, you're pumping it so you can get rich and then dump on us. No, basically, I look at VeChain as like a real undiscovered gem that I'm glad that me and Boxmining are talking about today. And I hope that you are seeing the real benefits here, because there are lots of competition. There's Walton, there's Wabi, there's IOTA, and there's Modem or something, right? But this is one of the ones that gets talked about the least. I don't know if that's because their marketing isn't as, it's not like Neo. Neo's marketing is amazing. But I think VeChain, if their marketing was on point, this would be worth a lot more, because this is, in my opinion, an undiscovered gem.
Well, they've been marketing to the right people, right? They've been marketing to the wrong people, rather. They've been marketing to the guys of PwC and like the business world. You see, the business guys, they take a lot of persuasion, and I think this year we're gonna see a lot more. And I think I'm looking at this other partnership that they have with DVNGVL, which is a mouthful, right? It is an absolute mouthful. What the fuck is that? I should stop dropping F-bombs, I think. But what's important is that people don't know what they are. But I was looking into this and what they do. Let me just see if I can bring this up. Just 1 second here. I hate doing one thing.
Bless you. Some guy called Crypto Clarky said, I covered VeChain last week. If anybody wants more opinion, don't worry about it. Just come and see me in Boxmining's video. Hold on. I'm going to let him out. Go on then, Mel.
So if people don't know, a lot of people realize or wondering who's in the stream with me. That is Suppoman. Um, so Superman, it's kind of interesting because people thought we had this competing thing going on. Like there was a time you made a joke where you changed your background so it looks like mine.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, we do, don't we? I mean, let's face it. We've got a friendly competition, but we're still friends,
And I
aren't
think
we?
this is one thing to stress. I mean, in YouTube, we do compete, but at the end of the day, we're pushing crypto boundaries. And I
That's
think
it.
this is very important. Everyone covers a different angle, and I think this is something that we don't stress enough. Like we might be competitors, but at the same time, we're definitely someone we're really pushing crypto, and we're all talking about it, and it's important to cover different angles. So I
Well,
think,
I was saying yesterday, mate. I was saying that because I know you caught my video on the old should I retire from cryptocurrency? And I was saying that if I retire, then essentially that means that the more quality channels like yours, mine, Data Dash, Crypto Daily, and I forgot to say Crypto Lark. That guy is awesome.
yeah, crypto lark.
If I go, then that allows the Trevon Jameses, the Crypto Nicks to come on board and start shilling their crappy BitConnect at everybody, and then they have no protection with us, giving them the safe choices with fundamentals, peeps, not just lending to a trading bot that doesn't exist.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
we gotta talk about something else that's quite exciting. Should we announce this other YouTubers that stream that we're preparing, or should we not? I think we're being talking about.
Yet.
Not
No,
yet.
we can't do it. We can't do it. We gotta keep it.
Oh
Gotta keep it
man.
secret.
Oh, I was gonna say, but guys,
Gotta keep the
expect more
excitement going.
to be.
It's a bit like foreplay. Let's just tease.
We're gonna bring more YouTubers on. I've been bringing YouTubers on. I've been doing lots of shows, but we have this whole. I can talk about the concept, can I?
No.
Okay. All right. Nothing.
No.
You guys heard nothing.
No.
You guys heard nothing. Nothing happened. Let's go back. Let's go back to what the burp.
I'll tell you what though, it's not Data Dash. It's not Data Dash.
Or is it?
He's gone too far now. He's like
yeah, that's true. He's ditching us. He's on his rocket ship elsewhere. He's gone, man. He's
on his rocket ship powered by cheating fuel that we aren't allowed to have. I'm only joking.
All right. So we got DNVGL, and this is a mouthful. I can never pronounce what they are. But one thing I think you guys do know is organic foods, right? You go to a shop and you see what a organic food item, and this is getting very hot. And you know who certifies that? These guys. So this is why they can afford this giant employee database. They have this is absolutely gigantic. They cover a lot of things like healthcare, gas, energy, food. They're and I was wondering for the longest time why partner with these guys was because these guys need blockchain.
Yeah.
Right? They're the guys who certify stuff. They're the guys who say this is organic, but they have a lot of reputation at stake. And they want to make their lives a little bit easier. They want to make sure that, say, if it's an organic food item, that it really comes from a farm. Then it passes.
Mate, quickly. Somebody is saying it's over $3 on Hit BTC.
What?
$3? That's basically triple the price.
What the fuck?
Can't be.
Well, it's $1. It's $1.31. Okay, let's check.
It's $2.38 on mine, but I haven't refreshed it.
Man.
Shit! $3.78 on Hit BTC.
The fuck?
What? That's insane, peeps. Insane in the membrane.
See, the only disadvantage now is that we're going to be known as the biggest shillers in the world.
We are the pump and dump crew now, Boxmining. You've joined me. You have joined.
No. We're still doing fundamental analysis here. I think we're still doing it, but people start discovering things. Like it clicked for me. I think the other thing, when it clicks for people, it really holy shit. Like I'm just looking at that. It's at what is it? Is this VeChain to BTC exchange? Let me just check out what that is. It's at 9. Wait, let's. I can't read this. I'm very noob at this. Wait, am I reading this right? It's at 16,000 satoshis.
You know what someone's saying? Someone's saying we're laughing like we bought a hell of a lot before the video. And I love, you've got to love the cynicism. Oh, they bought before the video and then they're going to pump it and become mega rich. I can't confirm nor deny, peeps. I can't confirm.
Dude, like, no one cares about YouTube when it comes to this. I think sometimes people, we give ourselves a little bit too much credit sometimes. You know, we can drum up excitement.
I give myself a lot of credit.
We can drum up excitement. And sometimes we feel like we get credited for this, but at the same time, we're just reporting what's happening, right? We're
Exactly.
we're not the guys who work 2 years developing a project. We're not the guys behind it. You know,
No.
a lot of people feel like this is like you know, we're the guys who discover it, but not really.
Yeah.
You know, people have been talking about VeChain on my channel for the longest time. So,
Yeah.
you know, we try to put on a good show, and I super admire what Suppoman does. I think that's important as well because
Thanks, man. Thanks.
It's
I appreciate
actually
that.
really hard to do it. To run a channel on YouTube, like we don't care what the price is. It's fun for me. I would love to go and hit on Binance right now and do something, but at the same time, it's important to remember that it's like you're talking about retiring because it's hard work, right? And a lot of times, you know, when I spoke to
It's
you,
a thankless job a lot of the time.
yeah,
A thankless job, and people just say, "Oh, Suppoman, you're a pump and dump." Oh, flipping hell! On COS, which I think is probably the shittest exchange, but anyway, on COS, it's $9.53 for VeChain an F pair. $9.53.
Fuck. I'm gonna just turn this off now. I'm gonna stop looking at
smashing it.
price. You know, at the end of the day, like you know, I hope everyone who watches this, you learn something from this. But at the end of the day, I personally, for me, as people discover blockchain technology, that's really the important stuff. You know, obviously we're big holders in Bitcoin. I think I made no. I've definitely told everyone I'm big holders in Bitcoin. I threw some in Dash. I've been following Dash for a long time. And this year, all the coins that I've been talking about, even I'm gonna take over this. I'm gonna just talk about Decred as well. Decred is something that I've been supporting for a long time. I actually go to every single one of these communities and talk to them and learn about them, and also learn about what they're trying to do, because you know, this year all of a sudden everything's pushing up, and Steam as well. Steam is great. I go on Steam all the time. Like, people think I talk about all the coins, and I think it's good to do so because every coin has its thing. There are some coins that don't work. I think make no exception. There are some projects that do fail. But this year, especially this month, has been extremely exciting for a lot of these coins. So bring things down a notch. You know, I think the take-home message, of course, yeah, sure, everyone can get rich, and I'll definitely be excited if, you know, people discover VeChain. I think it's one of the things, you know, that should be discovered. But at the
How many people have you got watching you live, Boxmining? I've got 2,500 live. This is a record, peeps.
2,000?
2,500, mate. I've never had this many people watching. And yet, I've only got 981 likes. So smash up the likes, peeps. Smash up the likes. And also on Boxmining's channel, not just on mine.
Yeah.
Smash it up.
Smash up those likes, guys. Smash up those likes.
And smash. I normally say Hulk smashed, but something we haven't actually spoken about is the rebranding. Thor.
Man,
Thor.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie?
I've not.
Off
I'm
topic.
a fan of Chris Hemsworth or whatever his name is, but
Wait,
I've never
you have not watched the movie?
review.
All right, here's what you gotta do. You gotta close that computer, go out.
Well, smash it.
Go out, go to the nearest cinema, buy like 50 tickets for Thor Ragnarok, and watch that shit.
Here's my Thor hammer. Smash. Oh man,
Oh
that's
man,
brilliant.
you do. I'm absolutely serious here. Like I'm gonna disconnect this
You love it.
game.
You love it that much.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie that doesn't suck ass.
Oh, good. Because they
And
mostly do, don't they? Except Superman, obviously. Superman is
Superman's
always
DC though.
something.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Can't go to the competitors.
go. Thor is a rebrand. It seems like they're doing a rebrand. And it's been something I think that they could definitely do and benefit from. Because of course they have done so much in the past. They've done pretty much been around for 2 years. Very relatively unknown, and it's something like Antshears, right? Antshears did the
Yeah,
rebrand
yeah.
because people didn't understand ants. I mean, we love the ants. I was talking to some guy in England actually, and someone was like doing Antshears. I'm like, wow, you're like the biggest fan, and that stuck with me, right? That stuck with the Neo thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But uh, but when it comes down to it, rebranding and letting people see the power of this, I think this is something, like I said at the start of this very video, it's something that's hard to understand. At the end of the day, who cares of these small exchanges? I mean, the price is
yeah.
going up, so what? That's great. I mean, not to pour water on anything, but
Yeah.
um, at the end of the day, when people start realizing what this is, and when people start realizing that blockchain technology can change their industries, that is when things become powerful. That has
Mm-hmm.
become when things become really really strong. So like it's it is changing the world, and I think we can focus on this idea. We can focus on two things. I think. Do you want to talk about the bubble talk, because a lot of people might be interested in talking about bubble, or
Yeah.
do we want to talk a little bit more about the rebranding?
I think we should talk more about the rebranding. Something I don't know if we've mentioned it, but it's this Jiangsu partnership that they've recently announced, VeChain, where they are looking to essentially be the Internet of Things king with their technology. So with the blockchain's obviously got a really good use here in VeChain, which I love. But I think that something that I think is going to differentiate VeChain from the other competitors. In my mastermind group, everybody loves Walton, everybody loves Wabi. No one's talking
Mm.
about VeChain. But what VeChain with this Jiangsu, they're basically the technology providers, and their RFID technology actually, I think it measures temperature, something like that.
Oh, that's yeah. They're rebranding and they're announcing something with they kind of hinted at this, so this is what's
Oh, whoops!
interesting. So
Shouldn't have said
so what they're saying with temperature is there's something that Ambrosis is doing, and I think it's important to realize that I was there with Ambrosis. Ambrosis gave a talk, and what they were talking about was also very similar as well. And I'm really happy that VeChain is doing something like that, which is when you have food. We take for granted that food comes to us that's clean and nice and edible. These are things we take for granted, but the amount of work that's involved in packaging food and bringing that to the table, and also keeping track of that, that is really a big problem that people solve. These are big supply chain problems. How do you
yeah,
make
yeah,
sure food doesn't spoil, and how do you make sure that people don't get sick from eating that?
yeah,
Right? Because right now, the way that we track it is still quite rudimentary. And one thing that I was really excited about was that there could be sensors. That's the thing with relation to Internet of Things. We all hear about it, but what about the Internet of
yeah,
Things? They can put
yeah,
small sensors on that can detect and make sure that certain items are kept at a certain temperature. So that's
yeah,
where your food doesn't spoil, right?
yeah,
And those Internet of Things devices, they're small, they're low power, and they can write to the blockchain. See, that's one of the special things about blockchain technology is that they can write to the blockchain. So what we can see here applies to both Ambrosis, applies to Walton, applies to VeChain. And
yeah,
one thing I really hope that industry sees this, like if anything, and not just for price, but industry sees this because we want safer food in the future, and we want accountability for that safe food as well. So like if the temperature at which, let's say you have some fresh salmon or some fresh sushi, if that gets delivered and you want to make sure that the sushi is at a certain temperature, if it goes above or beyond the temperature, someone should throw that away. And the thing is, these sensors can keep track of that, make sure that the sushi is shipped at that temperature and that's safe to eat, and we don't get sick from eating it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so at the end of the day, what they can do is, because these sensors are small and they can run on a blockchain, you don't need to communicate much else, right? All you have to do is make sure that this temperature is there, write and certify that this is there, and it gets included in the blockchain. This is gonna get super boring because I'm gonna go on my tech rant.
Let's not get too technical.
It's gonna go. So just one thing. So it gets written that this is on a blockchain, and then no one can change this anymore. So even if something goes wrong, let's say in the event that something goes wrong and someone gets really sick, now we can go and track that item on the blockchain and say, all right, it's been through all these points. This was the temperature here. Okay, so who's at fault? So this can allow us to have safer food in the future, because now you can say, all right, we can guarantee that this food, the sushi, was kept cold here, and now it broke down here, and we can identify who's to blame. So in terms of this technology overall, this is what was exciting about Abrosis. This is what's exciting about VeChain. And I've heard that VeChain, I think what they're doing is they're doing temperature sensors and matching that with RFID as well. So the temperature goes through, checks it at each point, then you can scan the item and make sure, okay, these unique tags had this certain temperature at this certain time.
Yeah. Yes. Now, a few more things, peeps. Whilst you are buying, whilst I can see that VeChain is like super expensive now, I probably should have said this at the beginning. They are going to be launching masternodes in about January time. So it's going to start from about 50,000. No, it starts from 10,000 to have to start gaining from the node rewards. It's from 10,000 to 150,000 to get rewards for holding the coins. And then 250,000 coins is a masternode. Probably should have said that before, just in case you were wanting to buy 250,000 coins.
See, masternodes are like one of those really controversial topics now.
They are. Well, you know why? It's because you had really quality masternodes once upon a time with Dash, and then all of a sudden you have like Neutron and Extra Bytes and Renos and Coin and these are like, and Chaincoin, most perfect example.
Right.
They're just like non coins, right? But they offer it. So now masternodes, it's been taken down a notch in quality.
Yeah.
But masternodes are a really good way of making passive income as long as you get in the right coin. Like Wharton, I think, is offering a masternode.
Yeah.
Stratis offering a masternode. Then you obviously got Dash and Pivex. So I would say that VeChain's like masternode is going to be a top one. I want one. Founder of VeChain, if you want to give me one, I will gratefully accept.
That is the biggest show. You just showed yourself to get one. I hope you get one, man. Like I hope, like we're doing so much for this coin. I think we're gonna take this down a notch a little bit because apparently we're doing too much for this guy.
Yeah, probably.
We
for unpaid too much. That's just, when does that ever work?
No.
But nah, it's all good. It's all good. We love it, don't we? We love VeChain. We were talking for an hour on a Sunday morning about this project. We love it.
Yeah, and I think it's good that we found a time to talk about it. I hope you guys appreciate this show. But
did you say shell or show?
Show.
Oh,
show. Look. Like, it's so funny because, like, one of the things is that I'm so cautious when buying coins. It's one of those things that I love and hate myself with for this.
Yeah.
Because I just go like, oh, I'll put a little bit in there.
It's a risky game.
So I'm super risk averse. So it's a little bit unfortunate for me. Like, if I went all in crypto, like, don't we all want to be retired by now?
Yeah,
like,
we should all be.
I'm from
man's position.
I'm from 2012, right? Like, I've gotten since 2012, and if I bought
ages.
anything for shit, I should have got something. So I do have a lot of
You should be a
regret.
billionaire by now, Michael.
Right, I could have been Roger Ver, right? I could have been there. I'm like, hey, I can definitely be like I should have, but anyways, too late for that.
Oh.
I have
No,
crypto
well, it's never
mind here
too late,
too.
mate. It's
I
never
have
too late. We're still early. We're still early.
so people are saying let's talk about the negatives too. So let's before we become like all positive. Okay, we talked about a few positives.
Good luck.
We also have crypto mine. So crypto mine is a big part of my community as well. He's actually a mod on here, and he has been the biggest opponent, I think, of VeChain. And I think it's important to remember that every project does have some goods and bads, and I think he
Yeah.
did point out some really good points. I mean, this was a project that did take and they started 2 years ago and then they ICO. This is the thing I don't respect about projects. They see how cool ICOs are, and
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, let's go all in, let's do an ICO. This is
Yeah.
something that happened to Raiden as well. So Raiden, they've been developing a kind of a fast way to scale Ethereum, and then they went all ICO, and then I'm like, ah, come on. So this is a project that's been doing that as well. So CryptoMine pointed it out that right, they went to do ICO, and I think some really scammy things happened during that ICO. I think that was one of the things that I think a lot of chat wanted me to talk about, and I definitely did a little bit of research on that, and I can't deny that something happened, right? So maybe there was something um, investors going in and getting a lot of coins. They all maybe have something like a coin swap that was maybe possible. I think with a lot of these projects, it's very unfortunate, especially when it comes down to an ICO, because so much money is involved in an ICO that things happen. So I can't confirm nor deny it. I've been looking for it, and I've been trying to look at this whole Li Xiaolai scandal. So if you
Oh yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Li Xiaolai is one of the biggest crypto guys, but at the same time, he's also got quite a negative reputation as well. Because once he attaches his name to a project, this project goes to the moon. And the thing is, a lot of people want to get in before he attaches his name on, or he can make ridiculous demands to attach his names on. So I think there is some. I do want to say that do your research. There is a thing with their ICO. They seem to have something about that. I think you can read the situation. There was a post on Reddit about that. I think they did an AMA, and that came up as well. And this is something that was plaguing Dash for the longest time too. Dash had this whole kind of insta mine that people were calling it, insta mine or pre mine thing, and people get so touchy about it. So this is one of the definite disadvantages. Dash has that disadvantage as well, and then I think, of course, VeChain might have that. Looking at it, their team is definitely very high caliber, but of course,
Yeah.
because they've gone through an ICO phase, I do lose a little bit of respect for them because they could have just gone this done it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I guess they get more attention because they have a coin. So.
Well, indeed, indeed. I would also say the other negatives are that they're not 100% unique. I like unique cryptocurrencies because it allows them to be kind of a first mover, a little bit like in CryptGen, like I was talking about the other day. Whereas VeChain, they've got Walton, they've got IOTA, they've got Wabi, they've got Modem. There's so many people entering this RFID stroke anti-counterfeit kind of area that they're all going to be kind of sharing a slice of the pie. I know there are so many people in the Walton community and a load of people in the IOTA community, and now there's more and more people going into the Wabi community. There's going to be difficult for VeChain to kind of stand above it when you're considering all the different communities in cryptocurrency.
Yes,
As a
and
business themselves, though, with their partnership, they are far superior. I mean, those partnerships of PwC, Kuhn and Nagel, BMW, Renault, I mean, and the wines company, it's just magnificent. You don't see those kinds of partnerships with the other ones. So there is that counterbalance argument.
yeah,
And also,
and I do want to say this before about a lot of things, because I did talk to a lot of people in the Walton community as well, and then people were talking about VeChain, and I think a lot of times we see things as competitors because sometimes
like
people,
you and me.
just like you and me, but like a lot of times they're actually got like just you and me, and another example is these two guys, Apple and Samsung, right? You think that they're the biggest competitors, but they're the biggest partners. I mean, this freaking
Yeah.
phone is made by basically Samsung.
Yeah.
The CPU is Samsung, the RAM is Samsung. Only thing like this is Sony. Like this is strapped together by a lot of different things, and I think
iPhone.
nice. Yeah, you got Apple things, and Samsung makes a lot of stuff, and so Samsung and Apple are the biggest partners, and I think this is one thing that's going good. See, Wabi, what they're doing is they're doing a lot of consumer facing stuff, right? They're trying to make sure they're solving a problem with like starting with milk, and they're starting with milk. They're trying to make sure that people in China get good milk. And this was a huge thing that really affected China. It was one of the most embarrassing things because, and this is absolutely serious here because babies, they were being fed contaminated milk a few years ago. And this has led to growth deformalities. This has led to deaths. And this is one thing that's really plaguing China. And all of a sudden, all these concerned mothers are like, okay, we need a way to make sure things are authentic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So people are buying like milk powder from Hong Kong after that because Hong Kong's got better regulation. They got better verification that these products haven't been tampered with.
Yeah.
So
You're
Wabi,
right, mate.
I'm all right. So Wabi's trying to do that, and they're trying to push that boundary, and they're trying to interact with a lot of the people, right? And what that is going to push people to want services like this.
Yeah.
So even Wabi could be cooperating in a certain state. They can work together, like making things. Obviously, they have competing apps, but what's going to happen is that people are starting to ask, okay, we want this type of technology on all our products. So that is going to be the issue that's going to come through. So every crypto that pushes things forward, it's also pushing everything for the whole ecosystem, right? So we have Wabi here. They can push the milk powder. And once the mothers are like, okay, we can do this, then they're like, okay, why can't we do that for our LV bag, right? And as a matter of fact, VeChain has they do have a competing technology with them. They're definitely going to compete, but at the same time, they're going to push crypto to get it forward. And the same thing with Walton as well. Walton has a lot of things with clothing manufacturers. They have a lot of connections there. So at the same time, they're kind of doing something that's completely different as well. They're trying to create value. And one thing that I was saying there as well that they said to me was about data analysis. They were like big data and how to kind of optimize the supply chain. So I think there's a lot of room for cooperation with these coins. Obviously, you can't tell them to do so, but but who knows, right? Who knows what's going to happen here? So
yeah, I know. But you make a very good point, which is that by individually bringing various people's interest into the whole supply chain blockchain solution and RFID, then it's only a good thing. So that's a good one. There is another one that I was thinking, which is the supply. The supply, when you compare the supply to Walton, the supply of VeChain currently is 277 million circulating supply and 867 million total.
So for VeChain,
Your wife?
Sorry, I need to bring this up. I was reading chat. This is one of the hardest things with cryptocurrencies is reading chat. A lot of people are very upset because I think Walton went up a lot in price and Binance is dead. And they're like, VeChain is so yesterday. VeChain is so yesterday. But at the end of the day, I do want to stress this a lot that crypto and blockchain technology as a whole, it's something that's going to change the landscape for businesses. But it's just a matter of when, right? Yeah. So what do you say about the supply?
The supply is nearly 1 billion. That's probably, that's on the higher end of where I go. What I mean by that is that the risk reward is low, which is a good thing, really, because it allows it to grow nicely and also at the same time fall relatively nicely when people start to dump. So people won't get instantly rich, but at the same time, people won't get instantly burned. So it'll take a lot of investment. But at the moment, we can't even get a true picture of what's happening because Binance has gone down. Oh. So we can't even get a true reflective understanding of how the volume has impacted on VE chain. But compared to Walton, which has a much smaller supply, I think that what makes Walton probably a little bit more investable is that there's less coins and therefore it's a bit more valuable.
Yeah,
But I've really struggled to find bad negatives for VE chain. I mean, it's just been mostly positives, mate. There's so many. There's so many,
good.
and I don't
it's
think
good. And of course, with all projects, I'll add in a negative. I'll throw in some negatives before people say it's bad.
Go on then, Box.
With all cryptocurrency projects, it does take a lot of effort and people to adopt. Like they got the first step here, so they got the first step. They're at they got a very interesting strategy. They targeted the guys who do the assurance. They targeted PWC. They targeted DNVG. Oh, I can't pronounce that anyways. They targeted these two guys, but they need to make sure and persuade that the clients of these guys adopt this. So this is the point where it's still a test phase project, right? They've been through a few phases. If you look at VeChain, it was so confusing. I think that's what I'm going to shit on them for. Their website is so confusing. They had a bad ICO, I guess. I think Crypto Mind was talking about that. They had one of the worst ICOs because of just how much background stuff they were doing. But at the end of the day, this is a very experimental project. And they redeveloped their chain like 4 times. See, the thing is, for anything to get adopted, especially in the business world, there's a lot of specifications that you have to go through, and you have to meet those specifications. So one thing, of course, that could be a potential problem is that the project that they've got so far, it doesn't meet all the specifications of those customers, and then they have to go back and then redesign stuff. So there's still a lot of things that they still have to do, and then there's still a long way forward for that to get those partners to start really developing and using that. I mean, we have some very exciting things that I do want to verify with that's happening in China. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about this, and I'm trying to hold my enthusiasm because national level partnership is going to be crazy. But how are we going to do that, right? The execution, the level of kind of partnership level, I think that's something that we should look for. And I think this is something I want to stress is that, you got to look for how strong these partnerships are, how to really compute that into it. So these are things you want to look out for. I mean, it's fun to see prices rise. It's fun to pretend that we're superheroes discovering everything. But at the same time, blockchain technology is going to be taking a hard road to get adopted. This year, I gave a talk in Shanghai, so I was talking about the talk, and people are so skeptical about blockchain. They're like, the first questions they asked me, they're like, hey, what's the price going to be like? Should we buy now? Yeah. But the problem is, it's not about, I love getting rich as much as anyone else, and I see Korean Jew trading here. Just buy, thank me later. Not financial advice, but I'm more of a problem solver. I think this is the thing that's held me back in terms of benefiting from a lot of coins and benefiting from a lot of the booms because I don't cop on fast enough. Walton was like at $1 when I first heard of it. When people were talking to me about it on my channel, and I was like, oh shit, now it's 8. Like when is my entry point? So at the end of the day, I think there's a big road. I love talking about technology, and hopefully we can do something more about like this. And I hope you guys can smash that like button, guys. I want to go back to a full circle to smashing that like button, and hopefully we can have another time with Suppoman to talk about things just like this. So those are my disadvantages. So Suppo, do you think you covered your crypto picks well enough in this session?
Yeah, mostly. I think that a lot of what I haven't talked about is stuff that I'm hoping will be announced soon.
Yes.
So essentially, there are some announcements coming up, peeps. And really, and this isn't financial advice, as you know, in my non-financial role.
Yeah. And Bobby Moore was and Bobby Moore
don't buy just because me and Boxmining absolutely love this coin. Do your research, but that if you're going to get into a cryptocurrency, get in before the announcements, and there's going to be a few over the course of today and between December and January. So It's all good. Now, the question I got for you, Box Mining, is what do you give this out of 5? If you had to give it a rating out of 5.
Oh man, see, I don't give ratings until I see the project. See, now I hope Sunny gets my attention and I get to see the project. With a lot of Chinese projects, I want to see it. Out of 10, I definitely want to like see what they're doing, see the products, see the stuff.
Yeah.
I've done that for a lot of projects. I mean, I
You've
talked
done that
to.
with Walton, haven't you? So
I've done
you've
that
got
with
a good.
Walton. I've been to Binance. This is a video that's coming up. I will do a Binance video, even though they shat on me today.
They shit on everyone.
They shat on me today. The worst time to talk about Binance, but I did actually visit Suppoman in Shanghai, so I do a lot of these things. So I might hold my rating until then. So like currently, I'm tempted to give it a high rating, but I do want to make sure that it is a legit project. And
I agree. I think that personally speaking, from the lack of like you say, for the lack of seeing something, talking about it, I would give this a 4. 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna show you guys. So like, hopefully, Sunny's gonna invite us on it, and then we're gonna get it done. So if that gets updated, I hope to update you about that.
I think he'll invite us both, and then we can just meet in person and do the dual vlog. Actually, something I do want to ask, peeps. What do you think of this? Me and Box Mining coming together, 2 big YouTubers in crypto. Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
I do want to talk about crypto for 5 more minutes. So if you have time, Suppo, we should talk a little bit. People are waiting for us to comment about crypto. So we did our mutual talking about VeChain. All right, and I think we do want to do a summary of this afterwards. But we should talk a little bit about
Ethos. Yeah, good idea. Ethos.
Ethos? No, we want to talk about crypto in general, man. General crypto, man. All right, you can talk about Ethos. You can go. What is Ethos? Tell me what is Ethos, Superman.
Ethos is the Coinbase killer, matey. It's the Coinbase killer. It's basically going to be the place where if you want to buy your Bitcoin, you can buy it with fiat on the mobile wallet, and you can buy all altcoins on it. And it's also a wallet where you can hold every altcoin, not just some, and have tons of different wallets, have an exchange, have the fiat exchange. Basically, Ethos is going to be the all-in-one. A Coinbase killer and an exchange killer all in one. There we are. Shilling done.
Done. Awesome. I have actually never heard of it. So I hope the first thing that comes to me is regulation, because US Coinbase is the one that deals with regulation. So hopefully they can help push regulation forward. So and deal with.
How have you not heard of Ethos? You've heard of Bitcoins, haven't you? Bitcoins. You've written about Bitcoins on you wrote about Bitcoins on Boxmining.com.
I have never heard of Ethos. So really? I'll definitely take a look. A lot of things I do want to say I talk about is from a community. I think maybe I've seen it, maybe if not. Quick plug for my channel, community forums at boxmining.com. Here is where we meet up and discuss about cryptocurrencies, and we had a competition last week as well. So if you guys do want to check out my forum, that's where we communicate. And Suppoman, you have a group as well, right? You have a.
I do. I've got a mastermind group which you can join just by going on one of my courses for $10. Basically, the price
$10.
Yes, cheaper than an Honest Go token. Jeez. You can join the Most Elite Mastermind group online.
That'll be epic. That would be epic.
Anyway, there we are. I got a question. I got a question, Box Mining. If we do another collaboration, what should we call the show? Somebody has suggested Suppobox.
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 We're gonna.
Nah, it's got too much of me in it, hasn't it? What about Boxman? Because then it would be the man of Suppoman and then the box of you, Boxman. Guys, what do you think in the comments? Let us know in the comments.
Like Top Gear,
it's
Top
a work
coins.
in progress.
I don't know. It's a work in progress. I'll I'd love to hear that. So we'll have a few minutes. We'll answer some questions. We'll talk about general cryptocurrencies and the whole Bitcoin situation. I mean, recently today, in the news that I wanted to cover, it went up. I think Bitcoin is live. Futures trading is really hitting the markets right now. A lot of people are being brought into cryptocurrencies right now. So Bitcoin might go into a volatile phase. What do you think, Supo?
I think it's unlikely. I think so. I was going to say unlikely. I think that it's undoubtedly going to go into a volatile phase at some point. I think that we've just seen it go up and up and up a bit too much, and I think that there is going to be at some point some whale manipulation, and people are going to get scared, and people are going to sell, and then there's going to be that volatility. Always happens. We've had just too good a run, haven't we? It's just been too good recently.
Man, I was waking up this weekend and I was just like, oh my god, can you guys tone it down a notch? Like, it's gonna scare people. It's gonna scare people not to get on Bitcoin. I mean, if it grew very slowly, I think it would have been okay. But if it grew like this, like what 19,000 is just dumb. But
Holy fuck! I just looked at my block. Folio peeps is fucking going mad.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's V chain.
seriously, holy shit.
On my block folio, it says it's 181, 189 for V chain.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
I think they're having some problems because Binance was the biggest one, right? That had it, and they were down apparently. So, who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna be a douchebag, and I'm not gonna look at the price because like it gets me defocused. But we look at the tech. Focus on the tech, not the price.
Okay.
Do you ever do that, Suppoman? You're like focus on the price. Fuck this, right? Let's go to the moon.
I've got to admit that back in the day, old Suppoman version 1, which was pre-July, I was probably more of a kind of gains man, figures man, gains man. And then I think that come August, September, that was the time when Suppoman 2 came out and evolved and started looking at some real serious fundamentals. And it's been fun, really, because it's fun, isn't it, to look through coins and see what the technology is like and get an understanding of where they're likely to go. And Cardano is probably one of my favorites, and EOS.
Oh yeah, Cardano. Shameless plug. Cardano, I got their CEO, Charles Hoskinson, to come on my channel. Hopefully that will be very
nice
fun.
One, mate. Well done.
Yeah, so...
Tell him I don't like him, by the way.
Really? You don't like him?
No, I don't. Not a lot, no. I don't like him.
Really?
I'll be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that I think it's a big mistake him not doing a token ban, number one. And number two, I just don't think he's right from a strategic point of view. That's just my personal opinion, peeps. I still think it's a great
I like
tech.
the way he talks. I watched his video. He was very convincing about the tech. He went like all Cardano videos go into a little bit too much detail in terms of tech for people to understand. I think I have a problem. Like, oh my god, I need to look at what this is. I need to look at what that is. Like the whole idea of epoch and stuff. And it takes a while to get. So who knows? But hopefully it'll be fun. I mean, I got the Dash guy to come on my channel, Ryan.
Yeah, well done on that. Well done.
So it's been pretty cool. So hopefully we can get Sunny from VeChain. And I do want to stress that someone was saying, Bobby Moore was saying that please reiterate as well. You literally went live as the biggest partnership of all blockchain was announced. So the pump wasn't you. It's good to remember that. This is definitely not a pump and dump channel.
No.
But it seems like something's going on. So I'm going to take a look at what's going on. I did try to look at this document, but the problem is of course, it does take a long time for me to analyze something. So we got the rundown that they got partnerships with the national level, and this is something I'm very excited to see. And then we got also, of course, they got partnerships. This is all new, of course. So I think it's going to take a while for me to analyze and compute this. So I'll probably do a follow-up video, if I have enough time, probably next week before people get excited. But we're going to see what this really is. And it's going to remember that this coin is actively releasing news very soon. So hopefully they get some exchange news. I think we were speculating about that, but, who knows, right? So
And
So
this is definitely a long-term coin rather than a
yeah,
pump and dump. Because if you pump and dump it, you're missing out, peeps.
it's a lot of the partnerships to see it in motion. As like I said, as going back to my roots, it's also about seeing blockchain being adopted, and once it's adopted, people are going to realize, oh shit, you need to submit blockchain proof now that your food has been safe, right? You have the food sensor, and you need to make sure that you can submit that proof. You need to make sure, like, say someone's going to do an audit. That's why PwC is very excited for this. Like, say, this is the funniest story as well. You know how counterfeits work? Two funny things I was thinking about today, and this is related slash unrelated.
Okay.
One thing is how they do counterfeits in China is I've been trying to not get scammed because they've been warning about this. So what happens is that sometimes supermarkets accidentally sell fake products because what happens is when they get supplied products, let's say they get a box of 12 items. These scammers will stick one fake item in a box of 12 and then reseal it up. This is how shady China is.
Yeah.
So they'll be selling that, and they'll be like shoving in fake items, especially when it comes to Baijiu. The Chinese national one is Maotai. When it comes to Maotai,
Right.
most of the time when you buy Maotai in China, you're most likely gonna hit a fake. So what happens is that they're so sneaky. It's not like the whole batch is fake. And what VeChain can do here, and I was thinking, and that's how I suddenly clicked, is about the authenticity, right? So when you get shipped, when a supermarket gets shipped a batch, they can just scan the box, make sure all the boxes come from the same factory at the same time, because that's how it's supposed to go out. Gets repackaged, gets sent. So none of the items have been tampered with on the process. And I think this is something that's plaguing China. It's a lot of things that people don't know. And even if you're living in China, you're always suspicious. And this is how people get scammed. This is how supermarkets end up selling fake stuff. It's because they buy from a legitimate supplier, but the supplier has a broken supply chain. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's what the power of blockchain is. You can scan that. You can make sure that, and it's trustless because those sensors are not just doing that for Baijiu, but the sensors, you know the location of that sensor. Let's say it passed through a certain city, you can know that location of sensors, and when it submits it to the blockchain, it's also bundled with a lot of other stuff that went through the sensor as well. So you can tell that, you can verify with absolute certainty that this has gone through that sensor.
Yeah.
So I think this is something that just really clicked for me today. I'm like, wow, that can prevent a lot of things that's happening right now in cryptocurrencies, and submitting things onto the blockchain with sensors, whether it's Ambrosis on VeChain or something. This is going to push blockchain forward, and we're at the early stage of seeing this. A lot of companies, like, they don't realize the power of this. I think it takes a lot of explaining for them to just click and realize this is trustless. You don't have to trust a piece of paper now. Second story. Okay, this is going to be really short. This is something that I found out about the computer industry as well. It's about taxes. So you know how CPUs are really expensive.
Yeah.
So I had friends working in the computer industry in Canada back in the day, and they're talking how there's some really shady people, and what they do when they import items, they have a box. Like I say, they have a plate of a pallet of CPUs. I mean, this will cost a few $1,000,000. What they do is they put pallets of paper, like toilet paper, surrounding that. So when it passed customs, they're like, oh yeah, this is toilet paper. It's only worth like $3. So they don't have to pay taxes. Like, so fucking sneaky. And
that's just Trevon James sneaky, that is.
Whoa. We don't want Trevon James guys hitting us, but that was like, it's genius, right? It's genius. They can go there, and when people scan for customs, they see, okay, there's it's surrounded by paper. This is all paper like through. But the thing with blockchain technology is that they can now scan that, and then they can, when it passes through the port, you know exactly when, and you know what's inside the box. And it's going to be a time before these guys are like, okay, we want to make sure that those CPUs pass through customs and tax was paid. And this is what China's looking for. So it's good and bad, I guess. China's going to tax more, but at the same time, it's going to be more for authenticity, because if everything's going through the proper tracks and criminals don't tamper with anything, don't they don't play the shady games, it's gonna change how everything works. It's gonna break crime. You know, as shady as it is, you know, it's great for people that benefit and do these really shady things. But at the same time, if you can crack that down, it's gonna mean a lot for not crime, for like getting good products, and for us not to get scammed, and for criminals to lose one way to have money. I think that's gonna be what's gonna be huge. So I think those are the implications of what VeChain is trying to do. It's trying to make sure that supply chain is great. They have a lot of these RFID technology chips there, and of course, I'm gonna be excited to see if this can get, really become something in the future.
Thank you very much, Boxmining. That was a very good summary. I will tell you that on CoinMarketCap, VeChain is actually trading for $35 on COS.
What?
On the COS exchange, $35. But everywhere else, it seems to have calmed down. So I think that there'll probably be more and more people buying this on Binance once they.
They say Binance is working. They say Binance is up. Can you check if Binance is up?
Well, some are saying it's not. Some saying it is. Don't know. I've enjoyed this, mate. I've enjoyed this. This has been fun.
Yeah,
it's just been having a chat while everybody else is watching.
This is great. How many people do you have? I'm still. Let me. See, this is the most paranoid thing about me now, because I control the thing in the back of us. You know, I don't want to reveal all the you know, never mind.
Not everyone. There's 2,214 people watching on my side.
Yeah, I'm being very paranoid about not getting my account stolen. So, you know, I don't want to get.
Oh yeah, or mine. I hope my nothing gets
12,000 stats on that. I think a lot has to do with the partnership. I hope you guys enjoy watching this. You know, I hope you guys understand a little bit more about VeChain, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys got to see Boxmining. If you've never seen him before, which I doubt, but glad you were here with us, Boxmining.
Yeah, I'm glad to do this with you, Suppoman. I've been trying to do a lot of partnerships and trying to build up the YouTube community and really push YouTube forward. So I hope you guys enjoy that. You know, and I'm really I guess there's a lot of coincidence here. There's the announcement of China National Partnership. This has been really, I guess, lucky for us, I guess.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing in one sense, bad timing in another with Binance.
Yeah, and I appreciate all the feedback. I mean, I've seen some people get angry, some people very excited. I hope this is something that we can do and talk about different coins in the future. We definitely have a very different style, Suppoman, but at the end of the day, you know, we're all pushing crypto forward, and that's important. I see you're really excited. Yeah. Let me look at all those.
The live chat has been the best live chat I've ever seen in my life. It's just been the funniest stuff.
Yeah?
But overall, people love it. So it's all good. It's all good. Oh, by the way, quick hi to Suppo Kid, who is watching on his way home from school.
Oh, so, that's cool. That's cool, man. Suppo Kid.
I know.
I saw him on one of the videos. So
he's gonna be the future. He's gonna be the future host of this channel when I retire.
Awesome. And yeah, hope we can discuss more things in the future. Work on more coins together, and it'll be super exciting. Hopefully.
It'll be super exciting.
Suppo.
Yes. Nice one.
Well, that should be the name of the channel. Suppo exciting. That'll be fun, right?
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, hope you guys can join us.
I've loved it.
Again, you know, thumbs up, share this video, whatever.
Smash the likes. Smash the likes.
All right, see you later, guys.